a bond last time that was a, what's that? Oh, turn the screen on. I can see it just fine. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, on. Oh, it's transfer. Okay, sound looks good. Main volume on. Mic volume on. Let's doing that. Let's check. Sound. Sure nobody changed anything. Every once in a while I fail to check this, and somebody will have turned it off. Sound doesn't record 100%. So, have a whole bunch of those. I got 3 recorders up there. All right. So we did a discount, didn't we? Yes. Recorded one of the discount. Let's record one of the premium. Let's value it again, and let's record it real quick from both sides. Okay? And I want you to do read the chapter and study what's in the chapter, because I can ask things that are in the chapter, obviously, that we discussed in class. But this is the crux of it, right? If you can do a bond with a discount, you can do a bond with a premium, you got to make it. Okay? So, valuable stuff. All right, anyway, so let's see. Let's do a bond. Okay, we got a bond here. All right, that's the face of the bond, piece of paper. Okay, company names up there, whoever they are. All right, so what do we? Let's make it a, I don't know, $200,000 bond. Let's make it be for 6 years. You have 12 on your present value tables. Yeah. Oh, we did 200 last time with this class? Oh, well, let's not do that. Let's make it 500.
Yeah, we did 100,000.
Oh, we did 100 last time with the other class. Yeah, that's all right. We'll do 500,000. Could be any amount. Okay, it just makes that point. 6 years. Okay, and let's say that it's semi-annual. Okay, how many semi-annual periods in 6 years, you guys? 12. Okay, so n equals 12, right? Everybody agree? All right, and the future value is 500,000. Future value of the sum, which is 12 periods from now. Everybody agree with that? So that's what we're going to value. Okay, because that's what's going to be paid off at the end of the bond, right? Okay? So, all right. And then let's say the interest rate, this is going to be a stated rate. Stated rate is, let's make it be 9%. Okay, and we want this thing to go for a premium, right? Okay? So what's the interest rate, by the way, every 6 months, semi-annually, right? If it's 9%. Yeah, 4.5%. Okay, and that's stated rate, right? This is stated. Means it's on the face of the bond. What else do we need to calculate the value of this thing? We need a discount rate, which is the market rate, effective, or yield rate, right? Good. Excellent. Right. I know with all this stuff, you get mechanically first, then you get understanding, and then you go back and have understanding and mechanical put together, and you got to make it. Right? You know what you're doing. You don't have to remember anything, because you know it. You guys know I can't remember anything, right? I know your names because I have them on the list, grade sheet. And I know your faces because I look at your faces. I don't have them together at all. That's because I have absolutely no memory. How can I do this stuff? I know it. You figure it out every single time, right? Common sense. Oh, right? There's way too much to remember. Millions and millions of pieces of information, right? So what I like to say is I make it up as I go, right? I don't know if I'm remembering it or if I'm figuring it out or I'm just making it up out of thin air. I don't know. I hope I'm telling you some stuff there. Right, I hope so. Yeah. Okay, anyway. That's funny. All right, what do you think the interest rate would be? If it's going to be a premium, is the market rate more or less than this thing's paying? Oops. Well, wait a minute. Premium. Everybody wants it. Let's go back. Everybody wants it, right? Who would want a 9% interest rate? People that were expecting what? 8 or less. You got it? Or something less than 9. Right, guys? That's it. Okay? So let's say the market is 8%. Everybody's going to want this thing, and they're going to bid the price up until it only pays 8%. So value it. Go for it. Go ahead and value that. What I want you to do is I want you to figure out what the principal's worth right now and what the interest is worth right now. Okay? I want you to do that. And then I want you to add the two together. The interest is an annuity, isn't it? What is the interest payment, by the way? It's 500,000 times 9% a year. That'd be 45,000. Is that right? But it's half of that, isn't it? Because it's every 6 months. Okay. So what is that? It's 4.5% times 500,000 is 22.5. So the interest is 22,500. And you know what that is? That is an annuity payment, right? There at the end of the period, it's an ordinary annuity payment. I know you guys know this stuff. You know, when I was first teaching, I'd get angry because students did what you guys just did on this test. I don't know why. Frustrated, right? I'm not angry anymore. I'm like, matter of fact, pal. You didn't know it. You need to know it. Let's go. Right? Far better way to be when you're working, by the way. Don't ever get mad at anybody. Be yourself. I'd like to live there too. Pay $100 million. Add that money back, so you know. They should be quick, guys. You know how to do present values. Go for it. By the way, when you get done with this chapter and you get the present values done here, you'll be better at the one before this one. Right? Cumulative. Be all right. Get another shot at those. Come on, you guys. It's 2 multiplications in addition. Let's go. Sweet little Molly is going to be billed out at over $100 an hour. She needs to be able to move. $100 an hour. What do you think?
Okay, wait. Now, how did you find annuity?
Okay, what we've got is it's a $500,000 bond. It's going to pay 9%, right, a year, which would be $45,000. But we're semi-annual, so it's going to be half of that, right?
Okay, would you like?
So it's $22,500. So I've got an annuity of $22,500. Oh, I didn't do one thing, huh? This is 8% for a year. What should it be for half a year? Only 4%. You're going to discount it 4%. So it's an ordinary annuity, right? For how many periods? 12, right? It's at 6 years. Okay, ordinary annuity of $22,500, 12 periods, 4% discount rate.
Oh.
That's it. Okay? It's just making those connections. That's all it is. And once you see them, you got it made, you guys. Yeah, this for half a year would be 4% with it. Okay, that's for 6 months. Sorry about that. I obviously won't tell you that, right? When you do the test, quiz. At this point, good idea to let you know. So you value that annuity, and then you also value the lump sum, $500,000, 12 periods from now, at 4%. And add them together. You got it? Got it out? Oh, are you guys? Jeez. I know you can do it. It's just 2 present value calculations. I know you do, and add them together. It's just seeing it here, isn't it? Oh, we don't have 12 on there?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, you guys. No wonder. Why didn't somebody say something? She did. That's good. Yeah, that's a pain. Okay, so you're trying to do the formula? I apologize. I hate those tables.
Wherever you got this one from, you should give it to them.
What's that?
This.
Oh, that sheet? Yeah. I did hand them out before. Well, in intermediate. That's intermediate, I think.
Well,
So.
that's
All right, instead of, what do we have, 12 periods? Do we have 14 periods?
So like 10 and 20.
10 to 20. Oh, for crying out loud. All right, let's make it 10 years then. Make it 10. Thank you, thank you. So now it's 20 periods. No wonder you guys couldn't do it. I thought, man, it'd take forever. Yeah. 20 periods. Let's do 20 periods. Okay? Sorry. If you use your calculator, you have an answer too, didn't you? Right? Like, if you got a fancy calculator, you could do it. Didn't need to waste that time. The tables go from 10 to 20. Yeah, that's crazy. When we used to use tables before there were calculators and computers, they had every possible number of periods you could imagine. You can imagine how big the books were for this stuff. Shelves and shelves and shelves of books. Different interest rates and different numbers of periods. Calculator doesn't care how many periods it is, or the computer. So now are you guys getting it? 2 multiplications, right? And then add them together. We have 2 more days, and then we have a review session, right? Be sure and check out your syllabus. And we've got a quiz. Things are really flying. So it'll be Friday, new chapter, Friday and Monday, and then the review must be Monday and quiz. Maybe the quiz. You know, why do we have a day to review for the quiz here? We got rid of all the snow days. Okay, so you got values? What do we have? I have a present value or a future value 20 periods from now of 500,000, and I'm going to discount it to now, right? So I'd like to know its present value at time 0. So I'm going to use an interest rate of 4%, right? Half of my effective or market or yield rate. And number of periods is going to be 20, so it fits on our table, I guess. Okay, and what that is 1 over 1.04 raised to the 20th, right, guys? Okay, and so what's that factor? A little tiny number, isn't it? What is it? 20 periods is a long time, even at 4%. What factor did you have when you looked at the table? Present value of sum. Okay, guys, 4%, 20 periods. 0.45639. What's worth 46 cents? 39. What's worth that much? 46 cents about. $1 received. 20 periods from now, discounted at 4%, right? If I invest 46 cents, compound interest, for 20 periods at 4%, it'll grow to $1, right? So every single one of those $500,000 are only worth 46 cents right now. That's the idea, okay? I know I've said it a lot of times. Once you start seeing it, it's going to be easy. So 500,000 times 0.45639 is how much present value? What do we get? 228,195. That's what I would be willing to pay for the principal. But I don't just get the principal, right? I have the interest, okay? So the interest is going to be how much? 22,500? But that's really 22,500 20 times, isn't it? How much interest is that? Yeah. 450,000. I'm valuing 450,000 of interest, but I'm going to get 22,500 at the end of each period for 20 periods. Huh? That's all it is. Okay? So what this is going to be is 20 factors added together, okay? Right? Because I'm getting $1 1 period from now, 2 periods from now, and so on up to 20. Okay? So what's that going to be? What's that factor? It's going to be less than 20, but I bet it's more than 1, right? Get you on the right table. Or use your calculator. What factor was that?
13.5903.
If I invest $13.59, I can take out $1 at the end of each period for 20 periods, and I'll have absolutely nothing left in the account, and I will have earned 4%. Got it? It's an annuity. That's how they work. Okay? When you retire, you might buy one, right? A lot of people do. Not my plan. Okay. Anyway, but 22.5 times 13.5903. How much is that?
305,782.
What's this bond worth? Add them up. That's what the interest is worth. That's what that 450 is worth. How much is that?
133,977.
Ta-da! right? Is that more than 500? Yes. Is that a surprise to us? No. It should sell for a premium, right? Because that's going to give them what? What's that extra $33,977 for? Because they're only going to pay you back 500, right? If you buy this bond, or if you issue the bond, you're only going to pay them 500 plus the interest, right? What's that extra $34,000 for? More interest. It's the premium. It's more interest. You're going to pay them $450,000 interest plus the $13,977 premium. Got it? That's how it's going to work. Okay. So now what we need to do is amortize that premium. Everybody got the idea of this thing? Let's see if we get a miracle and our dual page works today. Yep. Give me one more. Ah, beautiful. Okay, all right. So let's do the journal entries on both sides, okay? So let's do the issuer, which is also the seller, right? Which is also the borrower. They're issuing the bond, they're borrowing the money, they're selling the bond, however you want to look at it, right? Okay, and then let's do on the other side, it's going to be who, obviously? The investor. Yes, buyer. Lender. Same person, right? That's who it is, right? On both sides. All right, and let's say it's January 1st, year one. Could be any date, obviously, when you issue it. Okay, let's issue it. On the date that it's issued, how much is it going to be issued for? $533,977. Got it. Okay, so if I issue it, do I get cash or give it up? I think you issue it. I'm issuing it. Give up cash, right? Okay, so what do you do to cash? Credit. You know that, don't we? Okay, and guess what's going to happen on the other side? Wait a minute. Issue it, I get the cash. Did I give up the cash? That bother anybody?
Yeah.
I issue it, I borrow the money. Come on, okay. I get the cash. Okay, right? We get the cash if we borrow money. I think so. All right. If I invest in it, what happens to me? Of course, I give up the cash, right? Everybody agree with those? All right. So if I'm issuing it, what do I have? I borrowed money. I have a bond payable. I have a liability, bond payable. How do you increase liabilities? We all know that, don't we? Credit. Credit. How much you want to credit for? By convention, it's going to be for the face amount. What's the face amount of this thing? 500,000. And what's the rest? What's that 33,977 for? That's going to be additional interest, right? And we call that a what? Seeing as it was sold for more than its face, it is a premium. But it is going to be additional interest this paid. Premium on bonds payable. So a discount would be a debit, a premium's a credit, huh? That's called an addendum liability, an additional one. Okay? So it's more liability. What's the carrying value of this debt? 500 plus 33,977. Got it? 533,977. Okay. What's the investor going to do? By convention, we don't show the 500,000 separately, right? What do? We put the whole thing together, 533,977. Whether it's a discount or a premium, you still do that, right? You just show it as the amount you pay for it. Okay? Debit what, though? Investment, we don't call it bond receivable. It is kind of a bond receivable. We don't call it that. In held to maturity bonds. And that's important to call it held to maturity because we might not hold it to maturity. We might not call it held to maturity, okay? So, yeah. We might not hold it to maturity, so then we would not call it that. We'd call it a trading security if we're going to hold it a short period of time or if held or so short-term or long-term. We'll do that in a later chapter, a couple chapters out. Okay, good. So then what happens next? Just think about what happens. You know, you borrowed money. One borrowed money, the other one made an investment. What happens next? You make an interest payment, right? Okay? So I'm not going to tell you this stuff, right? I'm just going to say, give me all the journal entries, right? For the whole, but I'll tell you how many periods to do it for or something. Okay? So when would the interest payment be?
6 months later.
June 30th or July 1st, however they write the bond agreement. Okay, sure. Okay, now what do we need to do? We need to figure out how much The interest is, huh? Do you know how much is going to be paid? Well, we already calculated that, didn't we? We valued it. How much was it? How much cash is paid in interest every 6 months? $22,500, right, guys? We know that, okay? So who's going to pay out the interest? The people who borrowed the money or the people who paid the investment? The people who borrowed the money, of course, right? So what are you going to do if you're the borrower or the issuer? You pay it out. What are you going to do? Make a credit cash? Sound good? For $22,500? What are you going to do on the other side, seeing as you're receiving the cash? How about debit cash? Does that sound good, guys? This is not hard, is it? Okay, now, why am I paying out cash? Because I borrowed money, and then I incurred what? An expense, named, because it's for interest, named interest expense. Remember back when I told you just call things what they are? You do, don't you? At that time, it's kind of like, whoa, what do you mean? It's interest, it's an expense. Call it interest expense, don't you think? Let yourself use what you knew from the first 4 chapters, okay? All the way through. And I know you guys know that stuff, and then you'll write down accounts that are ridiculous. And I know what you're doing is trying to remember instead of just letting yourself think. How many times have I said that in this class? You try to remember stuff, you die, right? Nobody's got a big enough memory. So, interest expense. I tell you guys, I once got an evaluation from a kid. Said it was a pretty good class for a rote memorization class. And I looked, and you used to write down what on these evaluations. They wrote down what their expected grade was, and it was a D. And he enjoyed the class. He or she enjoyed the class, but thought it was rote memorization and got a D. What a shame, huh? Wow, that's sad. So, are there rote memorization classes? God, I hope you don't have any of those. Anybody have a history class where they make you memorize it? Dates and stuff? No, I'm sorry. That's sad. Yeah, that's sad. You do need to know what happened in sequence and about when it was, the exact date.
You memorize cities and mountains and stuff for history class.
In high school or here?
Here.
Oh.
Yeah. Cities, rivers, and map tests.
Map tests? Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. All right. So, I guess that's memorized. Unless you went and visited them, and now it's not memorized anymore, is it? Now you know. Yeah, so. If they show you enough movies, that's the way I would do a history class. I'd show you a whole bunch of movies. And you might know it, right? I mean documentaries, I don't. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so it's going to be interest, expense, and cash, isn't it? What's going to be on the other side? Interest revenue, of course. And you know what? If we knew how much the interest expense was, that's also how much the interest revenue is, right, on both sides. We'd have it made, wouldn't we? We could record that. It's not going to be $22,500. How do we know that? Because there's an extra $33,977 of premium, right? It's more interest. That's all. And we just want to spread it over the time, right? We're going to use the effective interest method to do that. So you guys tell me, how much was borrowed? $500,000 or $534,000? You got $534,000 of cash, right? How much was invested? $500 or $534? You gave up $534. What do you think you invested? $534. That's economic reality, isn't it? Okay, so how do we figure out how much interest there is? Well, we discounted at 4%, didn't we? So what do we need to compound that to unravel this deal? It's 4% interest, you guys. And you borrowed $534,000. So it's simple. What do? Once you see that, it's pretty simple here. Take the carrying amount right now is $533,977. Everybody agree? How much is the interest going to be? 4%. That's it. How much is it? Guess what the interest revenue is going to be? Exactly the same, right? It's just $533,977 times that, right? Everybody see it? So it's not just the 500 you borrowed the whole $533,977. Well, now that journal entry does not balance, does it? What do I need? A debit of how much? How much is that? $1,141. $1,141?
Yep.
And here, I'm going to have a credit of $1,141. What do I want to get rid of? The premium. By the end of the term of this bond, by 20 payments, right? What do I want to have? I want to have nothing left in the premium, right? So on this side, I want to get rid of that 34,000 premium. What do I want to do over on this side? Get rid of the 34,000 premium. It's included in the investment, isn't it? I want to get that investment down to 500 because that's what's going to be paid at the end, huh? Okay, so here we go. What do you call this? What am I getting rid of? I want to get on this side. Okay, on the investor side, I want to get rid of the extra 34,000 in the investment. When we were doing a discount, I was increasing the investment, wasn't I? Yes. Just the opposite. Okay, so what do you want to credit? Investment in held to maturity bonds. You getting it, guys? No big deal. What do we do on the other side? What would the borrower do? Debit premium on bonds payable, and it gradually goes away. All right? Now what we want to do is figure out where we're at, okay? Let's figure out what balance we have right now in the account, okay? What balance do we have in the debt? Over here, for the borrower, what do they have? They have a bond payable of how much? 500. And they started with a premium of how much? Premium on the bond payable. 33,977 we did, right? You guys have gotten really good at taking your journal entries and putting them into the general ledger, a T account, right? You know what the balance is because you did it, okay? Simple. Students will say, well, how do I know what the balance is in an account? You just made a journal entry, you made the balance in the account, right? Okay. People do that at work too. How do I know? Well, look. Okay, what did we just do to it though? We debited for 1,141. Can you tell me what the new balance is? Well, sure. 33,977 less 1,141, right? Mm-hmm. How much is that? 836. Yeah. What's the new carrying value of the bond? Looks like 532,836 here, right? Premium you add, discount you deduct, right? Everybody got it? Okay, what would we have over here? It's going to seem silly. But, you know, obviously I don't have both the investment and the debt on one side or the other, so, but we calculate it the same way. Investment in held to maturity bonds, what do we start with?
975.
Or 977, yeah. 533,977. And what did we just do to it? We just credited it, didn't we? For 1,141. What's the difference between those two? 532,836. I did not subtract. It's the same as those two added together. Right, guys? Good. Okay. What would happen next? Another 6 months goes by. So January 1st, year 2. What happens? You pay interest. Do the journal entry. What do you do? What do you do here? Same entry exactly, right? Same accounts. What's going to change? Same cash flow too. What's going to change? The interest expense, interest revenue, and therefore the amount of premium amortized. And that's it, gang. One other thing, suggestion for you, don't miss any more classes this semester, okay? Don't do it. Just in case I cover something, say something you didn't already know, show up. Do that in all your classes for the rest of the semester. Your grades will be better. And then start doing that. When you get jobs, go to work every day, okay? Unless you're really, really sick. And then make it up when you're well. Kind of. Just get a journal entry. So So what's your entry going to be for? Debit what? For the investor, for investor, yeah. That was backwards. No, I didn't. Okay. For the investor, what would I do? Debit cash. How much? Okay. Credit what? You'd have to figure out how much, huh? How much is it going to be? It's 532,836, right? Times, what's the interest rate we discounted at? 4%. And how much was that? 315. That's it. We got 313. Okay. This is easy, isn't it? And you just do this over and over and over 20 times. What you do is you build a little Excel spreadsheet that does it for you, right? Nothing to it. Okay. And so how much is the premium that gets amortized?
HTM bonds, 1,187.
1,001.
187.
Yeah, and it keeps getting bigger, right? Okay, that's it. Everybody get that? The numbers you guys got? Okay, what would happen on the other side? It's still the 532,836, right? Same on both sides. Times 4% is 21,313. So I bet they pay out the cash. What do you got? You guys bet. 22,500. Debit. How much? 21,313. And then we need a debit, I guess, for 1,187. What's that going to be? How much? Well, 1,187. Premium on bonds payable. And the bonds payable is going away. Okay, now, to make sure you've got this, you do this 20 times, right? Yeah. Okay, so you can calculate the new values and calculate your interest again, right, guys? Okay. What is the balance going to be in the premium after you do this 20 times? Well, no, after 20 times, what's the balance going to be? Right now it's 31 something. Okay, it's going to be 0 in there. Yeah. So all that's left is the bond payable at the end. So at the end, what would you do? Bet you pay it. Debit bonds payable for the 500,000, and credit what? Cash. For how much? 500,000, of course. Big deal. On the other side, what's going to be the balance in investment held to maturity bonds after you do this 20 times? It's going to be exactly 500, isn't it? And then they're going to give you 500 cash, aren't they? Yes, sir. And you're going to debit cash 500, and you're going to credit what for 500? Investment held to maturity. Okay, guys, hang in there. Work, okay? Work, think, put in the time, do what you need to do. Stay positive. No matter how much we beat you up this semester, stay positive. Oh, I know.
Yeah, he's like.
He's what?
He's
He's taking.
but.
Sure. Are you sure?
Yeah. I like just got his. That's why. I think it's my she does too. But maybe what's it?
Good. Good.
He like texted me today. I was like, if I can come do something, I'm like, no, I understand you pretty well. Just
You understand?
You showing you how to work these problems wrong with the wrong answers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like on the last practice quiz, I think we got part A right, but not on the part.
Do we have other tutors?
I don't know. I think I haven't
stuff is
She gave me
not
the number
your,
he was texting with, yeah, availability, so she's like, yeah, it's fine. I do that.
is he rushing too fast or something?
I don't know. I'm just like we like work through like everything. I only go to him for days of like so I'm like
Yeah.
on his like the most practice weekend, but like whenever I do, like I'll do something right and then he'll like tell me it's like so.
Go to Emily. Do you know her?
Family, yeah.
At this point, I just feel like I'm screwed. So.
Yeah, you kind of are. How many credits you taking right now?
18. Yeah, I do.
I'll be like, never. Right? I mean, you're obviously bright. You know, you're obviously willing to work. You probably have other hard classes too, don't you? Here's an example of when some old professor gives you advice. Think about it. The very first day of class, I suggested to all of you guys that you had 18 credits.
Well, I thought I was going to drop letters or like another class, but
Yeah.
like I should have dropped that one. Or better next.
Yeah, about the one you're doing the worst in, which is this.
Yes.
And you know what? You may turn out to be a CPA when you're done. I'm not kidding. I've had that happen a lot. I've had it happen a lot. Right? You seem very personable, you know, and you know, seem interested in school, serious, right? You know, so do it this summer. Fail it fine. We'll move on. Okay, to whatever you're gonna do.
Okay, so
It's not a big deal.
I'll come see you later.
Good, good.
I won't be here.
Oh, we
Thank
yeah,
you.
we need it today, or you need it.
Yeah.
And I
I'll
guess
be
you
back.
still have to have a signature, do you? I don't know.
I don't know. I'll be back. Like,
Okay, I'll be around.
yeah, I'll just be here after your last class.
Good. But then what you for?
Gee, thanks. Because you don't.
That's good.
They're smarter than that.
Is this the summer leadership or a full-time internship? Both?
Summer leadership, but I'm going for both.
Yeah, kind of both.
Since I'm a senior, so.
Yeah. No pressure though. No pressure. Nah.
Yeah, right.
Just talk to your friends. You already know them, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
some of them.
Yeah. So you'd probably be talking to somebody you already know.
Hopefully.
And if not, you know the firm, you know people that work there. Big deal. Just hanging out with your friends. Good luck.
See ya.
Okay, so I screwed this up. Okay, so you,
I'll put the answer first. Go a little more. Not the answer on the side. Put two screens.
oh, I see there. It's right there. Those two are right, aren't they? So this should have been. This.
I'm not going to feel rushed to do so much in this time because I have a class right after this. It's like straight. I'm late to it earlier today. He's always saying freshman.
Just remember every time that you get done and get it right. Right? If you got 80% on the test done, you got it all right and everything. That's fine. Everything doesn't have to be right.
Yeah.
You are done. Yes, you're cranky. And then you will get done because you'll relax. Which is weird. Right? That strategy might help. Because anytime you're spinning your wheels, of course, it's wasted time. Because you know, this is good. Right? And that was good. You know, but I think it's really good school.